Three big team-specific situational angles and two NCAA-wide situational angles are on the docket for today's college basketball trend report. We're going to get right to it. And as always, I start by saying, please never make a bet based on any single trend or angle. These trends and angles that I'm giving you are only one of many in a game. So what I recommend is that if you use trends and angles as part of your handicapping process, it's best that you weigh out what you feel are the relevant trends and angles for each game and see if they weigh out more heavily on one side. Having said that, we're going to start off with team-specific trend number one, and we're looking at Valparaiso this season on the road when they are playing against an opponent that commits 17 or fewer fouls per game on average this season. And as you can see here, when Valpo faces these teams, they're 1-7 straight up, but a perfect 8-0 against the spread. The average line for these 8 games was Valpo plus 14.9. And they only lost the games by an average of 8.5 points per game. If you look at the list of games that qualified here, you can see they covered plus 29.5. They covered plus 21.5. They covered plus 19.5. And they're in that price range again tonight against Indiana State. In the database here, it lists the line as plus 21.5 at the moment. I'm not really sure if that is where the line is at right now, but that recommends a play on Valparaiso. Let's look at team-specific situational trend number two. And before I get into that, I ask that if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell for notifications. Now we're going to look at Georgia State, and we're going to go back to last season for this one. And what all of this means right here is that this is Georgia State when they have lost 5 or 6 of their last 7 games. So TS is team sum. And then in the parentheses, what do we want the sum of? L for losses. And how far back are we going to go? N equals 7, which means we're going back to their last 7 games, and we're looking at them when they've lost 5 or 6 of those last 7 games. And when the line, it says greater than -3. And what that means is Georgia State could be an underdog, a pick'em, or a favorite, as long as they're a favorite laying less than 3 points. So we'll hit the SDQL button. And you can see that Georgia State is 0-11 straight up and against the spread, losing to the spread by nearly 8 points per game, losing outright by exactly 13 points per game on average. And you can see that this is active tonight with Georgia State visiting Louisiana Lafayette. And that brings us to the third and final team-specific situational trend for this video. And guys, if you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up to like this video. I would greatly appreciate it. Now we are going to look at Northwestern. And this is a pretty simple one, and this is how I like them. The less parameters, the better. We're looking at Northwestern this season against conference opponents. Doesn't get a whole lot simpler than that. We're going to hit the SDQL button, and you will see that Northwestern, look at the over-under. 11 overs, no unders. These games went over the total by nearly 20 points per game. Now, yeah, there's a few overtimes sprinkled in there if you look in the right-hand column, but those overtimes are not going to knock that margin down more than a few points. So I'm guessing you're probably still going to see a margin somewhere around 15 points per game to the over. And you can see that this is active tonight with Northwestern hosting Nebraska. And with that, we're going to get into the two NCAA-wide situational angles. And I say NCAA-wide situational angles because these, unlike the team trends, these are not tied to a specific team. These angles will apply to any team that fits all of the parameters. So I'm going to get to that in just a second. Guys, if you have any trends that you'd like me to look up for today's games, or if you found any that you would like to share that are active for today's games, drop those in the comments. We'd all love to see them. So for this first situational league-wide, NCAA-wide situational angle, I'm going to go through this step by step. We're going to go all the way back to the 2019 season, so basically 4+ seasons. We're looking at teams that are favored between -3.5 and -9.5. And this team is averaging, and rebounds minus opponent's rebounds, said another way, is rebound margin. This team's rebound margin is, they're out rebounding teams by at least 6 rebounds per game on average. This here is their opponent's average. So their opponent's rebounding margin is they're getting out rebounded because it's a negative number on both ends here. So they're facing an opponent that is getting out rebounded by 3 to 6 rebounds per game on average. And we're looking at this with our favorite here is on game number 15 at least, which is a good parameter to have because you don't want these rebound margin numbers to be like 3 games into the season. You want, a significant amount of data available before you're looking at season average in anything really. So again, we're going back to 2019 favorites between -3 and -9.5. Our favorite out rebounding their opponents by at least 6 boards per game on average. They're facing an opponent that is getting out rebounded this season by an average of 3 to 6 boards per game. And our favorite is playing at least their 15th game of the season. We'll hit the SDQL button. And sometimes with these trends that have a lot of parameters, sometimes it takes a while, but this one came up pretty quickly. You can see these teams are 66 and 15 straight up, 57, 23, and 1 against the spread. 71.2% winners against the spread over the last 4+ seasons. I love that win percentage. And you can see that it's actually active on 2 games today. It recommends looking at Texas A&M against Missouri. It also recommends looking at Longwood, who I believe is playing USC Upstate. And that will bring us to the final angle of the day. Before I get to that, though, guys, I got to tell you again, 2 more college basketball totals winners last night. It's really getting ridiculous. Go to my page at wt.buzz/db. Look at the streaks. Since September 18th, I am number 1 at WagerTalk in ROI, return on your investment, 13.7%. Number 2 win percentage, number 2 profit, picking up over 105 units. Look on the right-hand side here. I've got 2 college basketball totals again today. I am number 1 at WagerTalk in college basketball profit this season, picking up a nickel short of 62 units. This first one is backed by a NCAA-wide situational angle that has cashed 77% winners over the last 5 seasons. And then down further is total number 2 if you want that. If you want both totals today, your best option is to keep scrolling down. You'll see a 1-day pass for $39. It'll save you some money to get both of those plays today. We got specials going on. I got a rest of February for as little as $9 per day. Now, the sooner you sign up, the more days of plays you will get. So get on board with that. Also, I got to tell you about 2 special coupon codes that I still have up. The first one is DB7. That one will get you $30 off a 7-day all-access pass, which means you will pay only $69. $69 also happens to be the regular price of a 3-day all-access pass, so you would be getting a 7-day all-access pass for the price of 3 days. The other one is coupon code 50OFF30. That's 50OFF30. That coupon code will get you $50 off of any of my 30-day packages, whether it be a sports specific package or a 30-day all access pass. And that will cover you through the sports that I am covering now, which of course would include the Super Bowl on Sunday, and it will also include NBA and college basketball. Again, I am up units in the NBA this season, and I am up a ton and number one at WagerTalk in college basketball this season. Ton of deals for you to choose from. I urge you to take advantage of those right now at wt.buzz/DB. And with that, let's get to the final trend or angle for the day. And for this league-wide situational angle, we're going back to the 2017 season. We're looking at home teams where the total is in the 140s. So it's greater than or equal to 140, but less than or equal to 149.5. This home team is coming off a game with a scoring margin of at least 30 points, which means they won their last game by 30 or more points. They are a team that averages allowing between 67 and 74 points per game. They are facing an opponent that averages allowing between 74 and 78 points per game. And we'll hit the SDQL button. And you can see the teams in this role are, or actually, this is an over-under trend. Look at the over-under trend, 25 and 6, 25 overs, only 6 unders, 80.6% to the over, and the margin is a nice, healthy 8.23 points per game. I love that. Anything over 2 possessions in basketball, I love a margin of at least 6 points. We have that here. And you can see that this is active on tonight's game between Seton Hall and Georgetown. And that, my friends, is going to wrap up today's college basketball trends and angles video. Again, if you have any trends you want me to look up, drop them in the comments. If you found any trends or angles for today, drop them in the comments. Don't forget to head over to wt.buzz/DB and take advantage of one of the special deals going on right now. The coupon codes are right there on your screen. And as always, best of luck on all of your wagers today.